Robert Burns, born in 1759. Now he's part of the early generation of writers. He was born early, but the issue is that he became fast friends with all of these young men and women. I wanted to comment on Mary Shelley for a moment because I'd skipped over her. She was married to William Godwin before she had been married to Percy Shelley. And to let you know that the Godwin family also gave birth to 5 of the great British poets of the Romantic period, and her father-in-law was, of course, one of British's early writers. His name was William Godwin, and they all eventually married each other, as well as marrying into the Dickens family and marrying into the Wedgwoods, which made them related to Charles Darwin. So just to give you a tie-in to the science behind their philosophy. So, Robert Burns. His first book was actually a lone book of poetry called Chiefly in the Scottish Dialect. I believe it was 1786 when it was published. It was written in the 1770s for approximately 5 to 6 years. Anyways, he was the opposite of Byron, the opposite of Keats. He was born into an impoverished tenant farmer family. Who was he a tenant farmer to? What family was he a tenant farmer to? The Byrons. So, and what was interesting about him is through Leigh Hunt, he was able to, like I said, Leigh Hunt was the guy who organized, who got these guys and gals together to create such a wonderful organization of philosophy. And Robert Burns was the guy on the opposite side of the pole. What he gave to the philosophy is actually the living part of it. He had to live, he had to toil in the soil. And Byron had said that he is hard-scrabbled and uncouth, but a man that I love and adore. I don't know how that works in traditional British society, but that was absolutely unusual for the time. And remember, what were they trying to do, Carol?
I have no idea.
They were trying to organize.
Right now.
They were organizing the positives of humanity. So, he was, what Burns did is Burns would take his Scottish roots and turn them into British conversation, which is unusual, because this is during the period of British Civil War, where the Scots and the Brits wouldn't have conversation. And here he is bringing the roots, these rural roots, into cosmopolitan London and talking about what is chiefly the Scottish dialect. So this man, most of his works are in a volume of 3. There's probably 15,000 pieces in his writing, in his dynamic of writing, and there are 3 volumes at close to 1,500 pages apiece. So that's a substantial amount of writing. Now, of course, he lived a very long time. He died in 1796. And he was hard drinking, and he was lusty, and he loved the women, and he loved his mother, And you'll see that in the dynamics of what he writes. And he was very adamant about, we talked about the good and the evil, about how there is good and evil and how there is evil and good. So that, and that's hard Scrabble stuff. So, Rob, may we?
And I am going to read it in a Scottish accent because it is written like that. The first one I just was asked the last minute to read this. So there's a poem he wrote called "To a Louse," on seeing one on a lady's bonnet at church. Ha! Where are you going, you crawling fairly? Your impudence protects you sairly. I cannot say but ye strunt rarely o'er gauze and lace, though faith I fear ye dine but sparely on sick a place. Ye ugly, creeping, blasted wanner, detested, shunned by sant and sinner, how dare yet set your fit upon her? Say fine lady, go somewhere else and seek your dinner on some poor body. Swith, in some beggars haffet squattle, there ye may creep and crawl and sprawl and sprattle. Withered kindred, jumping cattle, in shoals and nations, where horn nor bane ne'er dare unsettle your thick plantations. Now hold ye there, you're out of sight, below the fatral snug and tight. Na faith ye yet, you'll no be right till you've got on it the very topmost towering height o' Miss Bonnet. My sooth, right bald ye set your nose out, as plump and grey as unsy grosset. Oh, for some rank mercurial roset, or fell red smedum. I'd give ye a hearty doset, what dress your dodrum. I wouldn't have been surprised to spy ye on an old wife's flannen toy, or airblin some bit duddy boy. Uns Wilecoat. But Miss Fine Lenardi, fie, how dare you do it? Oh, Jenny, dinna toss your head and set your beauties abread. You little ken what cursed speed the blast is making. They winks and finger ends, I dread, are notice taken. Oh, what some power the gifty gie us, to see ourselves as others see us. It would fray many a blunder free us and foolish notion, what airs in dress and gait, what leads us, and even devotion. 1786. I'm going to do one more, if that's okay. Okay. Of course, we all know he wrote the songs Auld Lang Syne and Sweet Afton, which I'm not going to sing for you.
Thank God.
But Ian had mentioned that he was quite a drinker. So, the last poem I'm going to read is, go fetch me a pint of wine.
Please.
Go fetch to me. It's just called go fetch to me a pint of wine. Go fetch to me a pint of wine, and fill it in a silver tassie, that I may drink before I go, a service to my bonny lassie. The boat rocks at the pier o' Leith, full loud the wind blaws frae the ferry, the ship rides in the Berwick Law, and I maun leave my bonny Mary. The trumpets sound, the banners fly, the glittering spears are ranked ready, the shouts of war are heard afar, the battle closes thick and bloody. But it's no the roar of the seas or shore would make me langer wish to tarry, nor shout of war that's heard afar. It's leaving thee, my bonny Mary. Thank you.
To Jean, This dream's where you belong.